Hey, how are you? I'm Mel, and this is my Build Your Own palette for the month of March. I'm super excited to be doing this with Kendra and with Kelly and with Lock Maiden and also with Kara. You are seeing me looking a little two-faced right here. I'm going to go ahead and get into swatches, and I'm going to try to put them here, somewhere, and show you for the palette of the month. This is a Build Your Own palette series started by Keep Beauty Real and Beauty in the Frizz. And I'm very grateful that they have made this an open collab. Anybody who wants to participate can totally do that. And you can make a palette out of any 10 shades that you want, but every month there is a theme. So this is mine. I'm going to get into overhead shots so you can really see what I have here, but this is a pick-me-up feel-good palette. All right, starting with a fresh palette here. Here are my shades for my custom palette. This is a Build Your Own palette for March, like I said. The theme is mood boosting, and when I was thinking of mood boosting, I really was thinking about peach and just how much I love peach. And then I also really love green, and I wanted to bring in green. So kind of went back and forth on shades and then ended up here. And I've got a couple of things I would do differently going forward, but let me just swatch everything for you and I'll explain as we go. The first shade I have is Peach for the Stars. This is from Makeup Geek. It is discontinued. This is Peach for the Stars. It is a really nice medium to a little bit darker peach. Not orange, very much peach. And that one I kind of knew that I wanted right away. Okay, and then for the next shade, we have this. This is Bellini, also from Makeup Geek. And this I thought would be a good sort of light to medium peach shade. But as you can tell when I swatch it, this is really just more of a light peach shade. I'm still happy I used it, but it's not quite what I was going for. In the long run, I think it's nice. It has enough of a difference, but you're going to see right now with Makeup Geek Peach Smoothie, this shade is so similar. And I'm going to say the formula was better on the round pans to me. They're just more smooth. You can see it swatches more easily. So if I was going to redo this palette, I would choose these two, but I would leave this shade out. For the next shade, we have a beautiful matte from What's Up Beauty. This shade is Terra, and these are little thin, small pans, and I really like the size. I like that I'd rather it be shallow but wide than deep and small, I guess you could say. But these I wasn't going to actually keep. I bought the Geodes palette. It came in, and then I tested out all of the different shimmer shades that were duochrome and everything else, and realized they all are in a fairly sheer base and more topper shades. I was honestly disappointed in that and decided to gift the palette to my sister. After really thinking about it, though, I was like, I should probably give it a go. When I was building this palette, I dropped, you might have seen on my Instagram, I actually dropped the brown that I was going to use, which was from Nomad, shattered it, and I needed a brown, and I thought, let's pull this out and give it a go. Whoa, all right, here, we're gonna do it this way. This magnet is almost too strong. It's like, I really have to give it really watch it, but this is such a soft, pigmented matte. It builds up really well, as you can tell, but it's so smooth. And I am very glad that I didn't give away the palette, that I gave it the chance that it deserved, because really when I dug into it, it's really grown on me. It's really grown on me. So again, this is the shade. I also really love that it's true in color to the pan. It's like a pet peeve of mine when the pan shade is one color and then it swatches to be a different color, or worse yet, applies to be a different color. So I have that. Those are my mattes, and I thought this gave me a good balance. You can tell this is more peachy, this is more beige. I mean, they all work. I could have skipped this middle shade because I could kind of combine these, but this has a bit more yellow in it. Anyway, it is what it is. The most redundant shade I ended up using was this from Viseart, and it is Jory from Sultry Muse. Such a beautiful satin brown, but when you apply satin eyeshadow to your lids, very rarely will that translate as satin. It's going to translate and blend sort of as a matte, more than likely. And so really this is, I guess to me, satin is really more of a sophisticated matte. You can tell it's a bit more cool toned, but honestly, in the end, it didn't give me what I wanted for looks the way that Jory did. And so I could have left that out, but I didn't realize Jory was going to be exactly what I needed. I thought I needed 2 browns. The Nomad brown was a little bit lighter than this. And in the end, I was like, actually, I could have eliminated probably this shade and this shade and kept these 3, gotten where I needed to be, and maybe even thrown in some different mattes, but whatever. I mean, it is what it is. It's a pick-me-up palette. It's not something I'm actually coming out with from a brand. So, you know, it is what it is. But these are the essentially matte shades that I chose. I like to kind of try to do 5 and 5. So then these are the shimmer shades that I picked, and I'm just saying shimmer, but obviously we're going to get into all the different textures here. Let me just start with this one from Lethal. This was kind of a late to the party edition. I want to go ahead and use this strong magnet so that you can sort of see the shiftiness. And I just loved this shade. This is from the most recent release that they did over winter, which is Collant. So I picked this up and I really love it. You know what? We're done with this. It just doesn't quite support the shade. I'm afraid I'm going to lose it. So no, it looks very burgundy, but it really does shift and go green. It's a fun shade. It's a duochrome that is part of my deck of panning, and you're going to see that my deck of panning video didn't go up because it just nobody watches them. So it's a lot of work to do for a video that nobody cares about. So I'll still be posting my deck of panning, but I'm going to post it just to Instagram. So then the next shade that I have is also from What's Up Beauty, and this one is a topper shade that it doesn't really shift, but it sort of has some movement. Man alive, this magnet's crazy. This is Citrine, also from the Geodes palette, and you can see it's yellow, but it's a bit sheer. And this ended up, I wanted something yellow and sunny, and when I really got into it, I realized this is a perfect inner corner shade. Yes, it's sheer. It doesn't have a colored base at all. It sort of just gives you that glittery look. It's nothing, I guess, exciting when it's in the pan. And it's not really exciting swatched, which is why I was thinking of getting rid of the palette. But when I used it, I loved it. It fits a little tiny niche that I have of something that's sort of a peachy yellow. So ended up being very, very happy with this. And so then I'm really glad that I put it in there. Both of these have been really fun to have in here. And then next we have my Sydney Grace trio here. So this is Blushing Peach. And Blushing Peach is, you can tell it's a little bit textured. It's a duochrome. It goes gold to peach. Has a little bit of like that pinky blush in it. And it's sort of a crumbly shade a little bit, but when you apply it, it really smooths out. This is a favorite. This shade is very similar to Lovely's from Pretties for Your Face, but just a little bit more, has that rosiness that's just slightly more. And it is such a pick-me-up. Even looking at it now, I'm like, oh, you're so pretty. And then the next shade that I used, this is S'mores. This is from the Summer Days Light palette that Sydney Grace came out with. And that whole palette, I ended up turning it into just singles. I love it. I really, really like the Summer Days Light palette, and it's just fit in really well for me as single eyeshadows more than I would have realized, and I just don't like limiting it to the Summer Days palette, so I use it for both. It's very metallic and very smooth. I think it's the same formula. All three of these I think are the same formula. So this one isn't a duochrome, but it's just very, very shiny. Really beautiful on the eyes. It's close to my skin tone, which can actually be a very flattering pick-me-up out the door, one and done sort of a situation. And then finally, the last shade that we have is right here. This is another favorite from Sydney Grace. It's also a bit of a duochrome. They don't list these as duochrome, but these are shifty, shiny shades. This is Peach Smoothie. So it definitely has like a peach to gold kind of a shift. Again, it's not listed on Sydney Grace's website as being a duochrome, but this is very much probably one of the favorite peach shades in my collection because it doesn't have the pink. I love that it's more of the yellow and the orange creating the peach. So at some angles, this shade is very much yellow peach, and at other angles, it's very much a pinky peach. So it's a really, really fun shade. But that is my pick-me-up palette for...
Yes, come on, shorty, let's go. Girl, I see you over there in the corner of the dance floor, and I know you're acting shy, looking at the corner of your eyes. So I pick my heart up off the floor, move my feet closer to yours, catch my breath and I say, I'm the one you're looking for. So come on, dance a little dance, take my hand, darling, take a chance. You be my queen, I'll be your king, show you everything that you've been missing, shorty. So come on.
I put it into a kind of a 5-pan and a 5-pan. So I did this look over here with this side of the 5-pan, kind of warmer, peachier lips, peachier cheeks, and then that sunny kind of a yellow in the middle. Loved that. That's like a favorite look now. And then this side I did more peach, green, burgundy, brown. And I've had so much fun with this, with a cool toned blush and a matte, which is not very matte because it's got lip balm underneath it, but with a matte gloss. So both of these are really fun. So let me show you both sides of my face. First, a peachy, look, and then a cool toned date night vibe. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. I'd love it if you wanted to comment below, or you can like or subscribe. No pressure, obviously, either way. I'm just happy that you spent your time here with me today. And I would love to know what you thought of my Build Your Own palette for a pick-me-up theme. And next month, we're going to be doing a flower. So thank you so much to Kara and Kelly for involving me in this project. And check out their videos, Kendra's video. I think Lock Maiden's doing one as well. And then next month, I'm not sure who will participate, but I'll be back next month doing a Build Your Own palette. Until then, I hope that you are getting all the use out of your makeup that you need to make it worth your money, your time, and your hobby. Have a good one. Bye.